Hello, people! Welcome aboard to follow another round of 16 match between the two talented players. Today we have playing a two-time Hungarian champion Szigfrid, as well as a player from the international Carcassonne family, Vladimir Kovalev, also known as with the screen name of someone you know. He is a previous world champion from a few years back and also known in the Carcassonne community very widely. Szigfrid, also known as Josef Tihon in his real name. As starters, round of 16 we have the match over here, someone you know, and Szigfrid. The winner of this match will be playing in the quarterfinals versus the winner between the match of Lawyer and Stronkio, which I gotta say that whoever wins today might be in might be having a slight advantage if Stronkio manages to win, but it's going to be a tough road as Lawyer has definitely been striking left and right on this season of the Carcassonne Champions League. He won his group stage with 5 match wins, and I don't think he lost actually any of his matches. Looks like the group stages are not. Now they are. Okay, so Lawyer does have actually one game lost, but still a very nice record. Play should be starting after about 3 minutes or so. Hello Pavlo, hello Sergey. Hopefully you are having a fine day. Also, now that we are at it, we will have yes, here. We will have the future matches of this week still incoming. We have myself and Matej tomorrow at 8 p.m. UTC. We have Viv and Claudio going up against each other also on Thursday, and Lawyer Estronkio also on Thursday, just half an hour after my own match has started against Matej. Then we have the runner-up of this year's World Championships, Alexei, a very strong Latvian player, going against the Czech Republic Treasure Posic on 16th of February at 2 p.m. UTC, and the final remaining match happening on Sunday, Self-Evident versus UI Scuti. Self-Evident, the semi-finalist from this year's World Championships on individual level, and UI Scuti, a previous world champion from a few years back, also represented Poland this year in their World Championships. Both very, very strong players. And we are in the game. Alright, starting player seems to have been someone you know, with the red meeples here. Green has managed to grab a 4-point city, an 8-point loop here forming. Looking nice for someone you know here. Does leave an empty road end, but that is impossible to prevent when attacking the city, when attacking the road for the second time. I'd imagine Szigfrid will just go just down here next to Red's castle and going to meeple the castle as well, so that he doesn't have to really worry about the castle. But okay, the Hungarian has other plans, it seems. Is not a fan of meepling a 1-point city. Red taking a 2-point road, vacating all roads at the moment on the board. Also not really a fan of starting another city from this side, since what he really wants is to stick a crossroad over here, so that Red's second road would be limited to 1 point, and the green would be able to connect on the right side, as he now did, to this 4-point road of Red. Red catching some important curves immediately and finishes the 8-point road, getting back 2 meeples and also 1 meeple for green. Meanwhile, green is having fairly awkward situations with his castles, one of them being already attacked by someone you know, and the other one being a 1-point city, which is mildly restricted. More curves incoming for green. Really 2 options here. He could either use another curve on blocking, but I would actually prefer him taking a 2-point road, starting a loop on the left and harassing Red's road just a bit, making it a bit harder to complete. Also, by taking a loop road here, he kinda indirectly is protecting his castle, as Red would not be able to put anything on the left here without adding points to green, but decides to go with the blocking route. One idea might be, or one factor in that might be, that Szigfrid has already started blocking this 2-point castle at the bottom here, and now he wants to make sure that it will not be connected from up here into a large ruin, and therefore it will not see really the daylight of anything. Both players are 700 elo. That is a great point to make. Both are at the moment above the rank of our master. Also, it did indeed seem like there are loads of changes made to the website, so had some issues finding the correct tabs, but we'll get used to it. Surely there are some great improvements. Kind of a difficult tile for someone to place here. Maybe at the top left here, blocking Szigfrid's castle slightly, maybe in the city cap. Yeah, exactly. Well, it didn't really end up working. I imagine Green will immediately save his city, Maple city cap, or even Mapling the field. Alternatively, he could also take a 3-point castle here, which would only need one city cap to connect, but not really a fan of that, as he would risk losing another meeple on the left, whereas now he could immediately save it from any further harm, and it would take a good long while before it could be blocked completely, so it's relatively safe move. Secures 3 points plus a city on a more beneficial spot, and also if he manages to grab a second city cap immediately, it might cause some trouble for someone as it would be distracting the Red's 1-point city here. But instead, Szigfrid has other plans and does absolutely none of the things that I had initial thoughts on. I gotta say it's a highly ambitious move here that Szigfrid has made, using a valuable divider just to guarantee that the city of Red will stay small, will stay blocked, and that it cannot be looped all the way from the right to eat up this one green small piece of a city. Did end up working quite nicely though, as someone had the perfect tile to execute said plan on the right and grab 3 points, whereas now he wasn't able to do that anymore. He does have now a city cap restricted to a road though, but it's not such a dangerous position, as even though he has 3 vacant city caps all worth 1 point, he can use pretty much any kind of city cap to finish one of them. So he can use city caps with fields over on the left, and to the right he can use city caps with road to the left, to the middle here, and also to the right. Of course, the right hand side position here is of course the least dangerous to leave without attention. So it's not in the priority list at the top spots. Now Szigfrid, well, not really a choice, to be honest. This is the only possible move that he is kind of able to make, providing a safer haven to his 1 point city and also attacking Red's road here, which was looking quite nice as a potential 6-point road with just adding one curve. Another note on Szigfrid's 1-point city in the middle here is that whenever he finishes it, it's going to provide a platform for Red to attack the shared castle at the top here, which is not really all that ideal, but I assume it's gonna have to be done at some point. I don't think he'll be expecting to get another divider and just postpone adding anything to his city before that. Okay, Green is able to successfully save his city on the left. Still one divider and 4 field triangles remaining. So it's in a safe spot. There is a looming threat, though, on the right now, as someone you know has started another city with a dagger directing Green's road towards this 1-point city and essentially making this a priority to save the meeples here with a city cap, or honestly with any city piece with a road in it. It has to kinda urgently go over here so the meeples don't get blocked. Unexpected farmer for red as he cuts off Green from the road, gets himself 4 points. Szigfrid quickly getting a meeple back. Quick points for red. And I imagine, yes, exactly, instead of taking any vacant city caps on the left, it is way more urgent to save his meeples on the right, continue his road, and prevent the loss of 2 meeples, which would be disastrous. Red probably going to be meepling a monastery right next to Green's road here. Wow, that's very surprising. I mean, it was a great monastery spot though. And you have 2 meeples with rather not so dangerous spots to get meeples back from. So it's not like he would have been likely to get left to be in a meeple disadvantage for long. Now he instead decides to kind of sacrifice the whole monastery just to make sure that a road doesn't come here or a city piece, because all 2 dividers are out. Two extenders are out. There would be one extender and two triple cities with a field then to fit into the square if Szigfrid decided to attack with the city piece, but it's very unlikely that Szigfrid would be attacking this castle, rather just blocking it with a piece of road. But then again, two daggers still remain in the deck, so it's not like it was such a priority. So definitely an interesting choice. Maybe a loss of good spot for make points. Um, let's hope that doesn't come to bite the Russian player. Meanwhile, Green has now successfully quote-unquote escaped with his second 1-point city here, adding a shielded triangle, adding 2 points, and instead of attacking the shared feature here, Red is just going to start another feature on the left, taking out the vacant city cap, also making sure that he has fine use for both city caps and triangles, 6 triangles remaining, and a good amount of triple cities also, as well as the one divider, so all of those tiles he can now use on the left and get a good use for them. Matt saying that he would have been very tempted to contest the road from the west with that junction. At the very least, it extends Red's field, referring to instead of taking 2 points over here, placing the crossroad over here, placing a meeple on the road, and possibly with a straight road of any kind, connect to Green's 4-point road here, extending Red's field to the left here, which was also another option that I had in mind, but instead Red wanted to go for 2 guaranteed points, which I can definitely empathize with. Also, it's not like the road is like that great. Like it's 4 points, and you would be tying your meeple for possibly for quite a long time. You would then only have 1 meeple in use, and then starting castles like this would not have been as tempting as you would have been left without meeples for who knows how long, although he did have several spots to get meeples back from, one from the castle over here, one from the castle over here with any straight line, so it definitely would have been a viable option to place the meeple over here and do some wilder stuff. Someone would be able to block this green road meeple here at the right, but instead he doesn't want to do it. But all starting tiles are out, and there are lots of triangles remaining, and the divider 4 triangles remaining after this, so maybe a lost chance to block a meeple? Question mark? I mean, well, he does get the city completed, which is nice for him, but Still, he is in a meeple. He is with a meeple majority at the moment, and if he gets any any of the greens meeples blocked here, then he would be in a kind of a great spot, because this field can become at least 12 points even if it is extended to the left here. Now it's actually only 3 points, but depending on what green gets on the hole here, it's gonna add 3 or 6 points. Now already plus 3 points, finishes the 8-point castle, gets another farmer on the 9-point field. It's a fantastic tile for red here. Now there is a chance to actually try blocking the green road instead of extending this field to the left, because he would be joining these two farmers, and instead of getting a 12-point field with one farmer, he would be getting a 12-point field with two farmers, whereas now he already has 15 field points for two farmers, and this city will get 3 additional points more to the field. But now when Szigfrid is actually trying to fight for the field with a meeple disadvantage, because there is still a threat of getting one of his meeples blocked on the right on the road, and maybe even the second road, and then he would be going in with two meeples against 3, and already have a one meeple less on the field altogether, assuming that everything here is connected. Green will absolutely connect his top farmer here to the middle farm, because any field triangle is going to be fitted nicely into this square, finish a 6 or 8-point city for green, or with a divider create 2 more castles on the field and get +7 for green. Great tile for green here, unifying these ruins together, forcing red to attack. Also seeing that there are still 3 road triangles, it's a very safe spot that red can attack from. I would say that it is starting to become a more and more important priority for green to actually get meeples back from the roads, because not only is he going to be fighting for the field, but he is also going to be possibly fighting for the large ruin here, and it might become a huge issue, because at the moment red is the only one who can add more firepower to fight for large features. Red getting another tile that Green would have loved to have to free up his meeple here. Does get a field triangle now though. Like it has to go here. He needs to get more meeples back into his hand. There's no way he's going to do anything other than that. Or if he does, then I don't know what to say. Okay, exactly. Takes the logical route, gets a meeple back in his hand, adds 5 points from the completed castle. Red getting another city cap, scoring yet another 4 points here. Initially from a city cap that he himself left available for red to grab. Excuse me, green left a city cap available here since he added 1 point to his road. Szigfrid gonna be taking 3 points from the top here. I think because he's definitely going to need to score some quick points, only being able to actually get points with tied up meeples in a large ruin and being able to get points from the field with equal amount of meeples is not going to be enough for green here. He's gonna have to get the roads going as he does right now. Also gets a nice 9-point field in as additional value. He's 5 points behind on the scoreboard, 1 point with the road, and -4 with Red's castle here, and +5 with his field. Assuming that these fields are going to be shared, so he is technically +5 for a meeple, +3. Russian doing everything he can to harass the access point to the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, all crossroads have now gone, so green cannot join red's 9-point field from above, and he has to somehow find a way to connect from the top instead, which might prove to be very difficult, especially with the tile that Szigfrid now has in hand. It's looking like a very dangerous move that red just did here. And instead of taking 3 points, he's taking 2 points because he does not want to allow a possible additional farmer from red to come to the top here, thus breaking any chances of actually getting to the field and equalizing it up, because if red drops any farmer over here, then it's going to be impossible for green to get a 1-1 situation going over on the 9-point field. Instead, red is able to try joining the 9-point field at the bottom. 9 points ahead on the scoreboard, plus 12 with the castle, plus 8 with the road. Shared castle, basically shared fields here, basically shared fields here, so the Russian is in good position here with plus 8. There is a road monastery still remaining, which would be a fantastic tile for green here, getting back his meeple, adding 1 point to his road, and meepling a 6-point monastery, so a 7-point move, provided that he will actually be able to get a meeple down on this 9-point field here. Okay, instead of joining the field, he is going to first harass the attempt of the red of joining the field below here. Which is a good move because there is a large number of regular monasteries remaining, and being able to do this connection with a monastery would leave no possible connection spots for additional farmers at the top or on the left, so that is why green does not want to do it with a field triangle. The city, no, not the city, but the road monastery, probably going to be a decisive tile. If red manages to get it, they are going to be able to just take a 4 points from the road here, creating a 6-point field, or just take 4 points from the road here. There are also still 2 regular curves remaining. No, 1 regular curve remaining, so that will also do the job if red wants to connect to this farm with a curve. Maybe possible to block the connection with this extender. It's going to be pretty close at least. There are no dividers. There are no field triangles remaining. Are there vanillas? 1, 2. There are 2 vanillas still remaining, so pretty much every tile that Szigfrid gets into his hand is able to connect him to the 9-point farm on the left, so that's not really something that he should worry about. Red does get the crucial tile of getting the road monastery. Likely going to take 4 points over on the left. He doesn't need to do any anything madness, and he's going to be able to use one of the two vanillas to get another 3 points and to connect himself to the 9-point field at the bottom here, while also getting a 3-point castle if he wants to. Matt's asking maybe it is time to farm. Probably hinting towards the move with the quad crossroad. Which was totally doable. Although I still would have liked more from just taking 3 points and then using some other less valuable tile to farm. Green mapling a 5-point monastery. As does red, and now both players with a vanilla city cap. So red will be able to get 3 more points at the bottom, whilst green is going to get 1 additional point to their monastery. And red will definitely be taking this down and going into a 1-0 lead. Just like so. Around 10-ish points of a difference, I think. $11 points of difference. And the first game goes to Vladimir. Russians doing good in this tournament. Let's update the score. There we go. And we shall see if they have already started their second game immediately. They haven't. If the Russian player manages to win this match, he would join his countryman 71st as the second Russian player to be going to the quarterfinals, and that would be quite something. I know the Russians are known for fighting hard, but still getting 2 competitors and getting 2 players to this league and then both being at the quarterfinals would be quite astonishing already. given the caliber of the players in this tournament. Alright, second game begins. Szigfrid as a starting player gets the first city cap for himself. And someone removing the second dagger with a left curve from the game. And another dagger already gone. 3 daggers in first 4 moves. Szigfrid going to be taking this road up here. 3 points and a rather easily completed. Also harassing somewhat off this green 1-point city here. Shouldn't be an issue to take this. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Green also taking a 3-point road. And I imagine Red will definitely not be adding 2 points or 1 point to his own castle here. He's going to be attacking Green's city with this triangle. Question is which one, and I think the correct answer is going to be the left side castle, so that he doesn't create any extra vulnerabilities to his own 1-point castle here. And whoa! I am very surprised by that move. I'm very surprised. I can't really see that move to be even justified, to be honest. Like, I know the city was already possible to be attacked, but like just having multiple features at the start of the game is like essential in any game, and now he just basically countered to he just relied having one city as his feature and basically a shared road. So yeah, no, that's gotta be a mistake in my eyes. Well, as a result, Green now continues the left-hand side city, whereas his other 1-point city is under attack with 1 dagger already gone, so 2 daggers with right-hand side curve remaining here. It does create extra pressure on this road though, because if Green gets a crossroad and separates himself from the red part of the road, he's also going to be risking getting his meeple blocked from over here, and this is exactly what Green has in hand at the moment, and I don't think he will definitely. Yeah, I definitely don't think he will be taking his other meeple away from the road. It would be a bit too risky. Just adding 1 point to his monastery instead. A viable option, given the circumstances. It's not ideal having to use a crossroad to just surround your monastery for 1 point, but you gotta adjust to your surroundings and game situation. That is the power of great players. Red getting 2 points here, also creating a spot to make it harder for green to harass the connection over here if this city cap was to be taken, but instead green gets yet another 2 points with a field crossroad and creates a nice blocking platform over here with any city tile with a field. Szigfrid now has a decision to make. He could go over here to reduce the risk of getting blocked, which is, I think, what he should do. Or he can just start a 4-point loop road next to Green's Monastery. Or possibly even connect to Green's road here and try blocking Green's city completely, but that would create a dangerous possibility of Green finishing the 4-point city and meepling the field, which would then be 6 points with a potential city at the left here, because if the roads get connected here, then it's going to loop around and create a lot more free squares to build the field to. But decided to go with the semi-safe, which I can totally agree with. Also, Red was able to take down this 4-point city here. And now probably honestly going to take 3 points on the right, because there is only 2 tiles that Green can use to block this connection, and he already needs that dagger that he needs to block this. He already needs it on another place which is more vital, more lucrative, and just better in all ways, because he will be able to drop a farmer at the same time. So I think 3 points on the right here is a good decision. Instead, does not do that. Wants to secure the connection and reduces it to the road triangle. Green takes advantage of this opportunity, takes 2 points and enlarges the castle, creating possibilities to connect to the shared castle eventually later on. I imagine 2 points here, creating a possibility to limit Red's loop to a crossroad, since 5 crossroads are already out. It would be at the very least highly annoying having to wait 3 particular tiles to get a meeple back. Greens decides to attack the castle immediately. I would be interested to know, since Red has to win both of the next two games, he might be more inclined to take some risks, so it's not at all impossible that he leaves this access point here at the top available, and maybe on his next move gets a city tile with a field and tries to go for the quad city. It sounds a bit dangerous relying on a 50-50, but then again he might just be in the position where he has to take risks and where he is more inclined and drawn to taking risks. But also, yeah, it's definitely not going to be this tile that is going to be taken to the top here. I reckon just taking a 6-point monastery on the left here in a good monastery spot is a very much a viable option here, and should be what red does, and red does exactly that. Green could now restrict this square to a crossroad, but he would have to add 1 point to Res Monastery, so it's not that enticing. Decides to take 3 points here, add 1 point to the monastery. Red wisely restricting green's part of the castle to a city cap so that the part of the ruin over on the right cannot overgrow anymore. Now is the question, does red feel like going for a quad city is a thing? Or does he just want to create a field? Maybe drop this tube divider on top of his monastery without meepling anything? Because the thing is, he now already needs 1 crossroad, and to be needing 2 out of the 3 remaining crossroads is not really something that you would like to see, especially when you are behind on the scoreboard. Monasteries cancel each other out, plus 1 point for green from this road compared to red's road, plus 2 with this little city here, plus 1 for red for this road here, and plus 1 for green for this piece of city. So before the move that red just made, green was ahead by 7 points. An interesting decision by red to start a castle this way. I reckon it would have been better to go for a monastery surround, so at least on the top left of his monastery, and then meeple Move the city cap facing to the left, if anything. Because now, although green can harass this 1 point city, it will also give 1 point to the monastery, which red could have already taken. But it's not like the triple city here would be particularly dangerous, because there are still 2 dividers remaining in the decks, so red would be able to cut himself off. Szigfrid doing a semi-save for his road. Green in need of a starting tile to block this one red maple on the right here. We can limit it with other tiles as well, but it wouldn't be too lucrative of a move, and also doing it with any other tile would remain the possibility of completely blocking a meeple, which is not all that great. Red gets one of the daggers that green needs to release one of his meeples back to their hand, and now only one dagger remains with a right hand side curve. Does look like red is not too inclined to make a 50-50 move to go for a coin toss on the quad city, at least before this square here has been taken care of with a city crossroad or with a starting tile, but I actually doubt that red will place anything here, because first of all he needs already a crossroad over here, so this will be a primary spot for a crossroad to release his road meeple. And with the starting tile, probably there are better uses for it. Ooh, now this is this is painful for green, as red gets the final dagger that goes over here. So this one curve was a very lucrative tile in the end. Though this now does give the opportunity for green to separate the road here. So actually what I would have loved to see red do is to now join the roads here and drop a farmer, taking a 9-point field, leaving an empty city cap here, and making sure green does not separate the roads, and then place a city tile, any city tile, just below green's monastery, and block one of red's own meeples, but at the same time block 2 of green's meeples here for good, because they would be requiring the same dagger that that green would have already been needing here, which are no longer remaining. But I think this was definitely a missed opportunity here to make a very powerful move. Meanwhile, Green has been building this rather nice city at the right, and it is actually it cannot be blocked. There is still one vanilla remaining, as well as two dividers and a two filled triangles to go to here, and then possibly need the city crossroad. So this city is looking very threatening at the moment. Upon completion, 7, 8, 16 points. A large number of points with a meeple back. So red kinda needs to get a crossroad urgently, preferably a city crossroad to drop a meeple onto the city cap and make an insurance that if red gets a field triangle, then he can just connect to the field, just connect to the city. But also in case green gets a divider, then at least he will have to finish red city as well, granting 3 points to red. Is he gonna go for the monastery? Yes, he will. Okay, how many tiles are there remaining to actually finish this? Finish this spot over here. There are zero daggers. There are two field crossroads, but he already kind of needs them here, and the field crossroad would not be a particularly great because ideally he wants to connect these roads together so that green will not be able to take 5 points from this part of the road and then connect maybe later to red's road again, and at the same time surround the monastery at the middle here. Three regular curves also remaining, which would be the ideal tile to finish the monastery with. Nope, two regular curves remaining. Meanwhile, red made a sort of kind of powerful move. Although it adds 2 points to green upon completion of this castle, it's going to force green to have much fewer tiles available to actually complete this city, and it also forces green to get to give red his meeple back in case they want, and of course they do want, to finish the large castle here. So yeah, a great move with made with some point sacrifice in mind from the filled triangle. Green starting a new castle with an extender. Plenty of city caps still remaining, and also he can use a field crossroad over here, although it adds 3 points to the red, but it also gives him a meeple back immediately, so if the situation really requires it, he's definitely gonna do it. Now instead, oh, What a move! A great move. Great move by the Russian player here. Trying to restrict both of Red's monasteries and the piece of road to a dagger which no longer exists. Fantastic move. Also plenty of tiles to actually make that threat happen. He can make that threat happen with a city crossroad or with road triangle or with triple city with a road. So a major threat here for red. Also, I think even though red now has an option to save this spot here to the field crossroad, I think he will be more drawn into just taking an 8-point road or a 7-point road that just needs any crossroad or any curve to finish an 8-point road. And I mean, this kind of has to be the move, right? Because he can still get a meeple back from many places at the moment. Yep, he goes for it. The question is, who will take the field first? Green will definitely meeple the northern part of the field if they get a field crossroad, I think. And if red gets pretty much like literally any tile here, they will 100% meeple the field if they have a meeple in hand at that point. A decision. Okay. Calmly just decides to take away just his road meeple instead of going over here, add 1 point to both roads and take 1 monastery meeple back, give 1 road meeple back to green and take 1 point extra on his other monastery. Green preparing the move of red of finishing their monasteries and denies a farmer, a tempo farmer, by adding a farmer of his own early on. Certainly an annoying move to be facing if you are the red player. Oh, green finishes their city, and this might be something that is very difficult to come back from if you're red. Maybe. He does have a good amount of points on the board in the form of monasteries. So it's minus 14 on the scoreboard, minus 15. Roads cancel each other out, monastery cancels each other out. Minus 9. So he's minus 18 with the field of green. Now he's minus 9. And oh, is this a brutal tile for the Russian player to have. He's gonna be taking 4 points here and taking a meeple back from his monastery. And because he's going to be up 13 points, he's not gonna be bothered by adding more meeples to the field. That was also the final field crossroad remaining in the deck. So now, if Szigfrid ever wants to see those monastery meeples back in his hand, he is going to require a regular curve, and he is going to require it unbelievably fast. And he might already have to go for another meeple, go for another farmer, but he doesn't do it. It might be the only way that Red gets back into this game still, by just hoping to overrun the field of green here with 2 meeples. So I think he needed to drop a farmer here. And then hope for a regular curve and then some tiles to connect both of his farmers to the green field. Plus 27 for green. 26, 27, 19, 13. Yeah, plus 13 for green. And he's up a meeple. It's looking great for someone you know at the moment. What's he gonna do? Well, I reckon since it's actually quite hard now to attack the field with any tile, he might just want to close the connection here at the top and block Red's monasteries entirely. Make sure that Red cannot see those meeples again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, but this allows a powerful move for Red just by taking 7 points here. And there are no dividers and no triangles remaining. There are only 2. No, actually, there's only 1 triple city and the quad city. So was this a major major throw by green? Did he just lose the game by doing that? Or, well, he didn't lose the game by doing that, like, at least immediately, but he might have just given Red some hope to stay fighting. Because let's say that okay, so green was plus 16 after his move. Red just took 7 points, so plus 9 for green. Now let's assume that green gets a triple city and they get a quad city, and then Szigfrid gets 2 curves. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there's only 1 regular curve remaining. Oh no. Oh no. Are there crossroads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is one crossroad remaining. So potentially, if red manages to get a crossroad, he could go here on the left, drop a farmer, then hope that green will not draw any tile to block this connection, and red will hope for the final remaining curve and add and get himself on the field. Getting a majority from this field, and it would then be in total 9. Well, it would actually be only 12 points, so it wouldn't be enough, especially now with the Greens move getting 6 points over here. Is there anything that red can do anymore? Maybe, yeah, it looks like there is nothing that looks like, yeah, red agrees. There indeed seems to be nothing remaining. There's the Quad City and the Crossroad remaining as the final tiles of these two players. No, never mind. I've been counting wrong. There is no Crossroads remaining even, so the theorization I did was completely false. So maybe there was no way to the field then. Then what's the final tile of red? Oh, yeah. Okay. Never mind then. Well, Vladimir takes his second win and goes to the quarterfinals as the second Russian player, joining his countryman 71st and eliminating the two-time Hungarian champion from the competition. Fabulous stuff. Swift 2-0 win was not what I was expecting here today. I was expecting a more closer of a match-up here, but such is the way of Carcassonne. Things happen. Congratulations to Vladimir for advancing to the top 8. Congratulations for Szigfrid for getting this far to the top 16 in a tournament this stacked that could potentially be counted as somewhat of an achievement already. Wowzer. And how about we actually do the correct thing for the first time and we actually update the scores until the end. So we do that and we scoreboard needs a little upgradation. So 2-0 for the Russian player. Let's have a look here. Did red really stand any chances in the end here. Well, one of his win conditions was for sure to just have to just be the player to draw the final city crossroad. That was a huge tile for green. And then perhaps have a bit of a better run out after green took the field here first, and he almost immediately got the city crossroad, and then another 4 points from this road here, getting another meeple back into use, and yeah, well, it was a great tile run out for green in the end, for sure. Let's give some congratulations in the chat as well. All right, that is going to be a swift stream once again with the 2-0. Thank you everyone for watching. Next games will indeed be tomorrow. There will be 3 matches. There will be at 8 p.m. UTC. We'll start myself against Matej. 30 minutes afterwards, there will be Lawyer Estronkio starting with streams happening on Alexei's and Carcassonne Ukraine's channels, and then the evening will have its sealing fate with the match between Viv and Claudio Arguera starting at 10 p.m. UTC. So it's going to be a very eventful evening tomorrow, and it's going to see 3 more players going to the quarterfinals.